Sports. As always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
So here are the Titans now for their first drive.
They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast.
Here we go.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's second and a yard from the 34.
And here's a give to Spears.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. That one a first down pickup of 8.
The Titans at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They go up the middle with Campbell.
And a pretty good burst there as he gets this across midfield and down to the 46.
First down, Titans gain of 12.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw here caught by Mims.
The 20. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone. With a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up second and 12.
The Spears with another carry.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
That's a gain of 4. Brings up third and 8.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down.
Back to throw, Fields.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season.
And the Titans will jump on top of the game's first score here this afternoon.
Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
And we're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Now for the point after. And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. With a Tennessee score. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here come the Texans now for their first drive. And at quarterback from the
Again, it's Justin Herbert.
It hasn't taken Herbert long to earn the status of one of the league's best and most entertaining passers. He's locked and loaded on every snap, and the second he sees an opening, the ball's soaring downfield. You've got to be on your A game at all times against him. The second you slip off, he's liable to burn you.
And a good job of just fighting through one tackle there to pick up about 3. Second down coming up. You talk about this Titan defense. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
And that's a knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And that's going to be incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Able to push his way through. That'll go as a 42-yard punt. They'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Here's Spears on 2nd down. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
On 1st and 10, it's Spears. And he'll work 3 from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. The numbers for Spears on the ground a week ago. 13 carries, 101 yards, and a score.
I think he's exactly where he wants to be coming into a game, partner, because he has to still be riding the momentum from last week when he broke the century mark in rushing and had one of his best individual efforts of the season. I would expect that there's more from him on the way after that type of a game, and I know his teammates and coaches, they feel exactly the same way.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. 2nd and 5. Right back to Spears. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 42 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run up the middle with Campbell. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From the 46, here's 2nd down and 7. On the option, here's Spears. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. You look at the defense for these Texans. They enter this one 18th in the NFL in stopping the run.
One thing you do know, they'll be fired up because they're facing a top 5 rushing attack. And even if they have early success against them, they got to remember they got to sustain it because teams that are top 5.
Touchdown, Titans! A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Titans have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. That pass taken in by Burks. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Looking middle, and that's complete. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Herbert. Hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Second and 10. Now another timeout here called by the Titans. That's their 2nd, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this 2nd quarter. We'll be right back. To the air again, Herbert. And I think the ball's out. It's picked up by the Titans.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't it?
He has definitely been dependable and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
Well, now he's looking just to add to his totals. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's Fields. Gets this to Campbell out on the right side. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That one a first down pickup of 8. Hand off to Spears. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Given 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. They'll give to the big man, Campbell. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 3rd down, here's Spears. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They'll go for it. It's Spears. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute, because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 9-yard line.
Now Fields. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the wall. 2 touchdowns for him already in his first half. This one good for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Spears will take this into the end zone for a Titans touchdown.
Sometimes offenses can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it is now 21-0. A 10-play drive that time. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Pierce takes it straight ahead.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Herbert on 3rd down now. Now the ball comes loose. It's picked up by the Titans.
He may go.
And they're going to bring this one back. A fumble return touchdown for the Titans.
Charles, they are putting on a show right now. I mean, with that fumble return for the touchdown, you think about the size of this advantage. Heck, it's a 4-score game right now, and we're still in the first half.
And that has to be the highlight, Brandon, with how infrequently we see fumbles return to the house. But if you aren't inclined to pick this as the game signature play so far, you do have no shortage of alternatives to select from. This has been nothing short of a clinic. And as noted, we still have a half a ball to play.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it. And now out comes Houston. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted and calm.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He's got his man, it's Pierce. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Going to throw on third down with Herbert. Flushed out right. Herbert able to show his wheels as he gets the first.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets every...
Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Back to throw here, Herbert. On the left side, a catch by White. So the completion good for 7 there. And that brings up third and a full 10 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Here's 3rd and 10. Herbert now. He's got his target. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They'll get 34 yards there.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Herbert back to the air. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And the Titans are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield, try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down.
Well, that's a nice job right there. He's looking downfield, but with no one open, he takes off and tries to run for it. He gets to the sidelines and gets out of bounds with a first down.
Fields on first down. Catch made here by Campbell. And out across midfield down to the 40. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. On the handoff, here's Campbell. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Again, they run with Campbell. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And they are just about ready to head to halftime with the Dolphins on top. The Dolphins seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Another game of interest in the AFC East has us checking in on the Patriots at home in Foxborough. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Zay Flowers, a touchdown reception. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And that game is tied. They take on the visiting 49ers. We got an excellent first half from the dynamic quarterback, Justin Fields. He came out of the gate smoking hot with 2 first-quarter touchdown passes to help steer his guys towards this halftime lead. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. But let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Herbert setting up to throw on first down. And he'll get it right back to Washington. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down. Again, Herbert. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and enough. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. Well, hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. It's taken to the 26. 35 yards that time on the punt. Titan football. So here are the Titans to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up.
They'll start with the option. Fields hit and the ball is loose. And the Texans scoop it. There he goes left side. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. There are two words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in the meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
Second down and 3.
At the 15-yard line.
Herbert, quick pass out wide. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Here's third and a few inches. Here's Herbert. Gets the dump off to Pierce. And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. It'll be a gain of 6 that time as it moves the chains as well. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now first and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
At the Titans' 9-yard line.
Here's Herbert. Off the mark, incomplete.
Well, you got to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Now Herbert, third and goal. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Disastrous outcome there on third and goal. They lose 9 yards on the sack. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll make a small dent in that big deficit as it's down to 27. So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. Still fighting for more. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23. And the Titans getting set to go. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only... Still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
68 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. He's going to try and take off with it. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 15 more yards there and quickly another first down. But I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring it.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Mims in motion right. And he'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. 7 yards there.
Just a little touch pass. They set the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. There's a quick throw caught out wide. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And it'll be 2nd down. And now they're in the hurry up.
2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
This thrown quickly out to Jones.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield. They'll hand this to Campbell, running right. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Hopkins. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And that will extend their lead even further. I got to think at this point, third quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
Houston set to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Now it's Herbert. Over the middle into the hands of Burks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. So it's a quarter that saw these two teams trade field goals here as we've reached the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he is caught. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 28. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. Pierce is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. A timeout for an injured player, and it looks like it's Treylon Burks who's in some discomfort out there. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. It's the fullback with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Texans are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Titans are going to recover the football. Well, fourth quarter, it felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On the run, it's Campbell. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 77 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. And they're going to speed things up here.
At the 29-yard line.
To throw on second down. Hopkins. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point. His first career interception.
And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10. Herbert. And it'll be intercepted. And the Titans are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they're going to run their
They're going to hurry back to the line now. On 1st and 10, Hopkins. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do. Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
The Titans on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Campbell. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They're going for it with the option right. And this is going to come up well short as they stop them on 4th down. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And this Texans defense stands tall. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards. On 1st down, Justin Herbert. Now a short pass pulled in by Washington. Well, the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
3rd and 2, Herbert. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2. Back to throw here, Herbert. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. And that's caught at the 2. And he'll get in for the score. And that's going to cut the lead down to 13. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure. But that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready. Because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. Here's a great example right there.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. They'll try and fight for it here with Campbell. And he is going to have a Titans 1st down, and that should just about do it. They go up the middle with Campbell. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 17-yard line. That one looks like he'll throw here. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw again. Hopkins. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a...
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome.